Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Grandmaster Shaman, and welcome back to Flower Paradise. And today we have another episode of our 0 overall Madden franchise mode, as we are currently sitting at 72 overall across the board, with players on IR and stuff. That's pretty much how that goes. So we're not going to negotiate with CJ Board, as his regression has already begun. I'm not going to negotiate with Josh Malone either. I don't really feel like there's any need. This guy is 68 overall and he's 27. Not really going to need, as we're going to let all of these guys go. We're finally going to get rid of 3 more of our 12 overall players as we slowly, make room. And we're just going to jump into free agency. And I'm really excited to see what the free agent class has this year. So if you guys are hyped, make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we're just going to jump into it at this point. So let's, as we see here, our offense is up to 79 overall as we got some of our players back with injuries and whatnot, which is pretty nice. Man, I really wish that I didn't take him. He didn't leave. He just is on IR. But, Tyus Bowser. Our defense is looking pretty solid. We are going to need defensive linemen. That's about it. In terms of our defense, we need defensive linemen, and we might need like a 3rd and 4th corner at this point. Offensively, we need wideouts. 100% need wideouts. Our wideouts are looking really rough. And potentially running back and tight end. So it should be interesting to see exactly how that goes. But let's check out. We have $43 million of cap room. And we've got Derwin James at strong safety. Ooh. He's 26, superstar X Factor. And the best bid is only 69 points. Now, J.J. Watt's 33. I'm probably not going to go after him. Von Miller is also pretty old. Schwartz is as well. Leighton Vander Esch could be an amazing addition to the team. Oh, man, it is going to be hard. Harrison Smith. You have to understand that this is one of my favorite players to ever come out of Notre Dame. And as a Notre Dame fan, it's really going to be hard to pass up on him, even for just one season, to just be here. I know that doesn't really help with the Dynasty, but still, it would be so good. Joe Staley at left tackle. Trey Flowers. So, I'm not going to lie. I have $43 million. I'm going to go after Derwin James, and I might make him like a corner or something. I don't know how it's going to work, to be honest. But he's 94 overall, and he's 26, and the bid for him isn't even that amazing. So, I'm not going to lie. What is the base bid here? It is 90 points. So, I'm going to actually decrease that, because this is 13. So, let's go down to 6.9. So, that's 85 points. I'm actually okay with that contract. And then I'm going to also go after Leighton Vander Esch for, once again, 7 years. What's the base contract? It is 90 points, which is going to put us in 4th. So I'm going to increase that a little bit. And these are probably the only 2 guys I'm going to go after in the first, at the beginning of this. So let's go to 615. It's going to give us 96. I'm not really comfortable with that being as far as we go. Let's see where we go here. 97. Okay, so I'm going to go 97 points. So I'm going to go after both of these guys. I know what you're thinking. But you need a lineman. I know that. But there's also the NFL draft that we still have as well. And there's quite a few good linemen in that. So let's see if we got either of these 2 guys. Worst case scenario, we can go after a lineman here in a second. But I don't really want to be, J.J. Watt, who's 33. We got an achievement. Does that mean we got somebody? Leighton Vander Esch rejected our contract, but we did get Derwin James. So, I honestly wanted Leighton Vander Esch more than I wanted Derwin James. That's why I was able to go higher on him. But getting Derwin James is phenomenal. Now, which of these guys is more of a zone coverage player? So this guy's good man coverage, and 86 zone coverage. So he's more of a man coverage player, which is kind of weird for a strong safety, I think. I could be wrong, though. His injury is 89, which is a little bit worrisome considering, you know, where he's at. But Keanu Neal did really well last season, and he is way more of a zone coverage player. So what I'm going to do, actually, I know this is going to be crazy, but I'm going to move Keanu Neal to corner. So that way we have this as our secondary. Look at this secondary. We have Von Bell. I mean, should we move Von Bell and move someone else to safety? What's his 81 zone cover? He's not very good at coverage, which is what really worries me. But he would be the third corner. So I don't really, for a third corner, he wouldn't be all that bad. So if we move Von Bell to corner, then we can move one of these other players to free safety. Now Von Bell would be 80. Keanu Neal is 84. So I honestly wonder if Marshawn Lattimore at safety would be better, because I mean, let's look at his zone coverage is 84, his man coverage is 89. What's his pursuit? It doesn't say. 94 speed, 86 press. I might move him to safety. I know this is pretty wild, but there you go. So we have Awuzie, Keanu Neal, we have Von Bell, and we have Cone as our fourth corner. So that's a pretty good lineup in my opinion. Shazier's down to 83, Fields is 77, McLaurin 74. That's one of the reasons I was going to probably replace either Ryan Shazier and trade him or replace McLaurin. I wasn't really sure because Ryan Shazier's already starting to regress a little bit, so I'm a little worried about how that's going to go. Getting Leighton Vander Esch would have been so good here, especially with how young he is. That would have been absolutely phenomenal. But we still have $30 million of cap space. So let's see. J.J. Watt went to Philadelphia. Leighton Vander Esch signed with the Falcons for a 101. Damn, that sucks. I really wish I could have got him. Harrison Smith. So let's check out our defensive linemen. Yike. Yeah. There's Marcus Davenport, who's only 25. However, Atlanta's offer is pretty sizable. I don't know if I want to go over Atlanta's offer. Calais Campbell is 36. He's a superstar X Factor, and he's regressed a lot. But, I mean, we could bring him in for a season. Not, again, that helps us with, you know, building a dynasty or whatnot. But it could potentially be a little bit helpful. There's Josh Sweat, who's 76, and Atlanta's offering him a major contract as well. Atlanta's going all in on these defensive linemen, and I don't particularly like it that much. I might go after Harrison Phillips because, again, we do want a player that can at least play the position. Worst case scenario, again, we don't get a player that we can start at defensive line, and Harrison Phillips is, you know, a pretty solid 75 overall player. I'm not going to offer him a very big contract, though, because, again, it's not, like, that big of a need. So that's going to give him 39 points, which he might not take, but, again, that's fine. Davenport would be so good, but I don't want to go over Atlanta's offer. That's just too much. It's just not gonna work out for me. This guy is 76 overall, but he's 27. There's Durant Armstrong, which could be pretty spectacular to have. Again, we could probably, offer him almost no money to come play here for a couple years. So that could be very helpful. Outside linebackers, there's Shaquem Griffin. He's 77, so he's been making some progress. But compare that to the players that I currently have, I don't really think that there's any need to go at that position. So I'm a little worried about kicker. Brent Maher has been regressing, and he's only 69 overall. And we could get a guy like Jake Elliott to come in here and take over the starting gig. Yeah, none of these guys that are 68. So I actually might take Jake Elliott here and offer him a pretty decent contract. I don't want to be spending too much money, but if we can get him for a nice little 6-year contract for a pretty small amount, that would be helpful. And then J.K. Scott, man, I might just go all in on these kickers and punters here, especially because no one's made any major offers to like this guy. So I could potentially get him for really, really cheap. I don't want to undervalue him too much, but I really don't want to spend too much money on a kicker. So let's see how that goes. And we'll hopefully be able to get some of these guys in the next week. Right now, I think our biggest need, obviously, is defensive line. We are also going to need tight ends. I didn't really look at tight end in the free agent market, but we'll see. Okay, Brandon Cooks is back from injury. We didn't get any players at this point, so we're just going to sim another week. I don't really want to put in more offers at this point. We'll see how it goes. So, Phillips rejected. That's fine, but we did get our kicker, our punter, and Armstrong, our defensive end. So, positives and negatives here. We still have 4 players that are 12 overall, and I kind of want to just get rid of them. So, I don't know why I went into the lineup. That doesn't really help me too much. Let's just generate best lineup right now. And we're currently sitting at 77 overall, a 79 offense, and 76 defense. That's pretty spectacular. We just need defensive linemen, I think, and that's about it. But let's go to our roster. I'm going to cut these guys. I really don't like seeing them continuously pop up. It's about time to just officially release them from the lineup. Yeah, we're the cap penalty is almost negligent, so I don't really feel bad about it. Except for that one. That one was quite the hefty price to pay, but I'm done. Yeah, see this one's not bad. So there we go. We officially have no more 12 overall players on our team, and that is lovely to see as we move on to the 2022 NFL Draft. So, there's a lot of good players in this draft. We have about a middle-of-the-road pick, and if I get that wide receiver, that's what I'm going for. I'm 100% going for my receiver out of Notre Dame if he's still on the board at that point. So, let's start drafting. So, the Washington Redskins get the number 1 overall pick in the draft. They're the first team that we beat in this franchise mode, and we have the 14th pick. So, let's see who they go with. They go with a defensive tackle, Nolan Floyd, out of Tennessee. That's fine. Then they go a right guard, Malcolm McDonald. And then Javier Smith, which that's one of the guys that I had scouted. James Britt goes. Clay Thomas, a 77 overall strong safety. That could have been potentially really good. Will Robertson is 75 at linebacker. Another linebacker. A corner. So far, I like how this is going. Middle linebacker. Marshall Callahan, a 78 overall left end to New England. That was a really good pick. Luther Osgood out of Clemson. He looks like a pretty darn good tight end. That would have been nice to have. And then a corner and a left end that was 66 overall. So I'm 100% making this pick, and I'm going to go with my wide receiver. I think I like to have a really solid wideout, and I know he's like a third-round score, but look at this. First in the 40-yard dash, third in the broad jump, third in the 3-cone. How is he projected to be a third-rounder? I don't know, but I'm drafting the shit out of him. He's 77 overall with a hidden development. He is 5th in talent, and we got him at 14, so I take that 100%. So we got this guy, what's his name, Blaine Oswell out of Notre Dame, and I take those 100%. So I don't really think I need to trade up here. Let me look at my board real fast to see if I have anything too crazy. So, Lendell Hurts could be good. Tackle, guard, defensive end. I'm not too worried. About this. This is, Connor Swanson is a 4th rounder, and he's got 1st-round talent. And we need a defensive end. So I could take him in the 2nd round potentially if he's still available. We also have a tight end that has 1st-round talent. But he's a blocking tight end, and he didn't have a very good combine. So I'm a little bit confused on whether or not I take him. And look at this guy. Dude, he has A+ zone coverage. So after that, I actually made it so that the game scouted for me. He's not the fastest. He doesn't have the best broad jump, but he's agile, and he's got A+ zone coverage as a 7th round pick. So that could potentially be good at corner. We don't really need a corner, but it's hard to pass up someone of that good of talent. But I don't really need to trade up here. So we're going to go with our 2nd round pick, and hopefully the guy that was expected to go in the 4th round is still there. I don't really have much of an issue drafting him at this point. He's got a number of corners that, I mean, he could still be on the board in the 3rd round, but I really don't want to risk it. He's very talented. He's 2nd in, the 40. He's got a good tackling, which is pretty rare to see in a top 3. So, and wait, his A+, regardless, he's 79. He's number 1 in talent, and he was a 4th round projected pick. Holy. Well, I don't feel bad at all taking a 2nd on him. What's his rating? So he's 90 finesse moves. That's insane. Wow. 97 injury as well, which is nice. Out of Utah. Wow, he's from around here. Around these parts. He's 22. Wow, what a pick. Last year we had such a good draft. Now we have another pick here at 14 because we did get a trade last year. And I don't know if I really want anybody at this in particular spot. We don't really need a corner. And I like the corner that was supposed to go in the 7th round. I'm not going to lie. So he might be there for a while. We don't really need a linebacker. Do we have any defensive ends? So this guy is a 2nd round talent with B+ across the board. Sherrod Baldwin. He's early 2nd round talent, but I don't really know if do we have any more 1st round talents? Just a tight end that's blocking tight end, not exactly what I need. I might pass up this pick. Let's see if we can get anything good for it. 2nd, 4th, 7th, 3rd rounders, 2nd, 3rd, 7th. Let's see. So we're trading our 2nd round, a 4th round, and next year's 3rd round pick for the 1st round pick from the Bengals, who ended up picking in the top 5 of this year's draft. So depending on how they do next season, that could be a really high pick, and I'm really liking that we were able to get that. So we trade away our pick, so we get a first rounder next year. I don't feel at all bad about that, and we're going to move on to the third round here, where I think I'm going to take that corner that was supposed to go in the 7th round. Our luck has been pretty good. He's first round talent. He might already be off the board, to be honest. No, he's not. A+ zone coverage. I'm not passing this dude up. 76. He's 6th in talent. Are you sure? Bruh. This draft is wild. I don't even feel bad. So he's from Air Force. What was his name? Ty Craig. 76 overall. And he was supposed to go in the 7th round. This game is crazy sometimes. But hey, we take it. And that's nice. I'm kind of debating taking that blocking tight end too, because he's a first round talent as well. And again, first round talent, we need a tight end. I don't really feel too bad. The problem is that I don't really feel like he's going to be that helpful. But hey, late first round talent. So he's 71 overall, normal development. He's 24th in talent. Wow, we have been drafting some really good prospects at this point. That's pretty wild. So let's see. We got a 5th round pick here as well. We have another 5th rounder, 2 here. So in terms of our scouting, this guy has B, spectacular catch. He was supposed to go in the 3rd round, and it's the 5th, so he's probably not very good. But I really could use a wide receiver, and I wouldn't mind taking one at this point. I know we took the one that we drafted, but I might try and see if this guy can do anything. I mean, our receivers outside of, oh man, 42nd in the 40? Never mind. I don't know if I want this guy. Oof. 6.2. Damn, these combine scores are absolutely awful. Maybe we don't get a wide out here. That looks terrible. We could... I don't really know if we want a backup quarterback either. If we look at our draft board, though, look at this. The game scouted some really awful players. So I don't know where we go here. I might just take another defensive lineman because it's really hard. Like even if we end up picking someone who just sucks, our offensive line or our defensive line is pretty bad as is. So let's see if we can't find a defensive lineman that has a decent combine grade. Oh man, these are pretty darn awful. 6th, 5th, 6th. He's 3rd in the vertical. He's 5th in the 40. So, I mean, that's not the worst. That's actually probably the best that I've seen out of all of these players. So I'm actually going to take Kent Pitts out of North Dakota State here. He's 60 overall, which is pretty awful. But he has 80 speed and 81 acceleration, 71 finesse moves. I mean, again, we don't exactly have a lot of talent on the defensive line. It was a long shot to begin with, but I don't really mind too much. I think we trade this to Houston for a 4th round pick in next year's draft. I don't really feel too bad about that. And then we go to the 6th round, where I'm probably also going to trade this pick away. We're at the point where we have quite a bit of depth, so, it's not too bad. Let's go and give this to the Eagles. don't really feel like we really need to make another selection in this draft. But we'll see. We have the 7th round pick, 14th in the 7th round. Out of all the players we scouted, we've got pretty much no one left. This guy is still on the board. He has B spectacular catch. But, like, this guy has B plus tackle, B pursuit, B minus hit power, and he's supposed to go undrafted. So, I don't really know what to do with that information. We could pick, like, a super backup quarterback. This guy had a 3.4 combine grade. Look at that. That's awful. This guy had 2.5. Wow. This dude is fast. Wow. I think I'm just going to pass up on this pick. I don't really think there's anything that we really need here. Plus, I'm satisfied with this draft. We got 3 of the best players in it. We'll trade it to the Eagles for a 6th rounder in next year's draft, and we'll call it good. So that's the draft, and I think we did pretty well, in all honesty. I don't have too much of an issue with how this went at all. So let's take a look at our current roster status. So we have, obviously, Wyatt Kane, who is a superstar development trait at 74 overall going into his 3rd season with the team. He has been, you know, a pretty solid player for us so far, all things considered. We have 3 running backs. That's a little bit worrisome. I might have to sign a running back, maybe an undrafted free agent or something. I didn't realize I only had 3. I thought I had 4. But we might have to sign a running back in the preseason. Blaine Oswell is our number 2 wideout. He was an amazing pick. He has 98 speed. I didn't even see that. Wow. This dude is fast as heck. He is a deep threat, so he doesn't quite fit, but look at this dude. He's 210, 6'4". He's 6'4". He's the tallest dude on our team. Well, our wide receivers. Then we have Leo Miles, who is 71 overall. He'll probably back up Slade still. He's 71. What's his catching like? It's not very good. It's 58. So he's probably still going to back up Philip Slade. But he's a blocking tight end. I mean, I could move him to, like, lineman or something. So Jake Matthews is down to 79 overall, which is a little bit of a disappointment. But our offensive line, not too shabby. All of them are at least, like, 78. Tyus Bowser is pretty solid. And then we have Connor Swanson, who we got at 79 overall. So he could potentially be a pretty decent factor on this team. Defensive tackle is a little bit worrying at this point. Actually, I might be able to move this guy that we got, Durance Armstrong. I can move him over to defensive tackle so he can help out that middle, because we don't really have a very good player at that at defensive tackle at this point. So that puts him down to 72, but he will start, so I'm not too worried about that. Outside linebacker, McLaurin, obviously, 74 overall. He's been playing extremely well for us. You know, it's nice to see. And then we're missing backup linebackers, but we can honestly just, like, put a corner there. This dude is 57 overall. He was pretty good for us, but as you can see, probably would have been better to do something a little bit different here, but obviously Derek Cohn is a superstar development trait, but I don't think he'll get any playing time. I'll move him above Hughes, but look at our top 4 corners. We have got a freaking Awuzie, we got Neal, we got Von Bell, and we got Ty Craig. Like, that is a very good cornerback core. Then we have Marshawn Lattimore and Derwin James. Like, you can hardly go wrong with that defensive backfield. Oh, it's so good. And we're ready to start the season. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my last couple of adjustments. And then we're going to end the episode. It's going to be a little bit of a short episode, but I like to do like this part of the season in one, part of the season in another, and then the off season in one episode. So that way we don't get too crazy here. So I am going to go in and I'm going to... So we can have up to 75 players, but I think it moves down to 63, right? So we have technically 2 slots that we can get. And this dude is 80 overall at corner. I'm not going to get him, obviously, because it's kind of pointless. But I do want a running back, but I want him to be worse than the running backs that I currently have, albeit barely. So let's take a look. We have an 80 overall team. So at the beginning of our 4th season, we have a real shot at making the Super Bowl. So I want him to be about 73 overall-ish. So that way we can... I mean, our rookie's guaranteed to start. Even if we got this guy, it would be pretty much there. But I want someone kind of young. Oh, man, that goes all the way down to 70. Yeah, never mind. So let's go and grab somebody who is fast. So this dude has 94 speed. Wow. And it drops off dramatically. But we have TJ Logan and we have Kalen Balaj. Now let's see about their carrying. This dude has 88 carrying. So I'm going to sign this guy to a 1-year contract to get him onto the team. Because we are going to need at least 4 running backs, if not more, depending on how, players get injured and whatnot. That could potentially be very bad for us. But we're going to generate the best lineup, and then I'm going to move Slade up to the starting tight end spot. So this team is looking phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. I'm really digging it. We could use a defensive tackle. Maybe it would be worth checking out to see if they have a solid defensive tackle. I might actually move Craig above Von Bell to the number 3 corner on our team because he could potentially be very useful at that position. Let's see if we have any defensive tackles that are like 72 or 73 overall. Even if they're kind of old, I don't really know if I mind too much. Like we can get Trey Hendrickson and move him to defensive tackle. Or yeah, I mean we could get this guy. He could be potentially very good. What's his shed block? Block shedding is 58. That's awful. 78 finesse. So, I mean, Melvin Ingram would be a lot better, but I don't really think there's much of a point in him being on the squad. So, I think we're just going to stay with what we have. And in the next episode, we're going to watch our first game against the New England Patriots for sure. 100%. I am really excited to see what this team can do. We have an 80 overall team. Let's just upgrade our players real fast before the end of the episode. But thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below for me because you already know your support's greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing to the channel if you have not done so already. And, all of that good stuff. I really do appreciate you guys coming out and watching these episodes. I put a lot of time and effort into them. And hopefully you guys do enjoy. But leave a comment. Let me know, your thoughts. If you guys don't like something, if you guys want to see something different, let me know in the comment section. That'd be very, very much appreciated. But we have a real shot at not only making the playoffs, but potentially winning the Super Bowl this year with the Portland Snowhawks. So I'm really excited for the next episode, and we'll see you all then.